What's up, YouTube? All right, we're getting right back into it with this wing here. So, next day, everything's still solid. Pretty hype. Pretty hype. You can't even move this thing. So now it's time to make the wing look pretty. So let's get this in the garage and explain what we're gonna do. I like it. Now hear me out. Hear me out. The sides of your wing, I would like to say, does most of the downforce. Everybody thinks it's the center. It's not. The sides of your wings actually brings more downforce than the center. So, if I was to follow the curve and have it end up like right here, what is that doing for me? You know, they're kind of taking away downforce at that moment. I like the shape, but I kind of like how it just straightens out like that. And I mean, like, this thing came out like perfect. You see that edge, this edge, that's like a one-to-one edge, as if the eBay makers themselves made this. But I don't like this. So what I'm thinking is, or what I'm proposing, we take foam from this line all the way down straight and make a complete straight wing, obviously following the airfoil and all that stuff. But the front half, make it completely straight, and in the back, keep that style and keep it all the way up. I know you guys in the comment section like, what the hell? But this is just how my brain works, and this is what we're gonna do. Alright, so since I'm kind of settled on the idea, next thing on the agenda is to get long enough M6 threaded rods and drill, put them in and then drill all the way through here so they stick out the top. That way we can bolt on our end plates. Then we'll be able to put this on the car and accurately see if 6 inches is enough or more or less. Alright, so we have our 150 millimeter M6 bolts, all thanks to McMaster-Carr. These bolts are long enough to go all the way through and leave space for the end plate, obviously. So let's go ahead and get a nice drill bit and drill this through. Well, not too bad. Kind of awkwardly shaped, but you know, we're gonna add the foam to those sharp corners and straight across there. So let's go ahead and put this on the car and see how this looks. And that's what it looks like. During the day, this is actually really nice. Really nice. Well, I might keep this front shape now just because I like the uniqueness of it. It's actually really nice. I already explained to you why we didn't just taper it off, because, you know, want more surface area, make more downforce. So we're just gonna focus with this piece of foam on both the edges. So I guess cue the music. We're gonna start sanding and make this carbon wing great again. All right, so we got this roll of carbon here. What do you think, Gio?
It looks pretty once it's done. Right now it just looks like fabric.
Yep, it's basically fabric. This thing is really cool. So I'm looking at the back side of this thing, and this thing looks like it's printed carbon. This looks fake, like it was like all drawn on. You see this? It looks like it's all like,
this is not real.
this is all drawn on.
Yeah,
like,
this is printed carbon. This is not real.
this wing was never carbon to begin with.
It's
You can see the way
no,
it faded.
It's not real.
Carbon doesn't even fade like this. This is nasty.
That's
It's printed, bro.
Yeah, definitely.
Like somebody like hydro dipped this thing.
And if it is carbon, I mean, Jesus.
That's probably the lowest grade of carbon.
Lowest grade.
All right, now let's get to work. 100 grit. Some areas are not as pleasing to look at. Like, let's wipe this for you. This area right here, you can see I broke through the carbon. That's why you guys have to hand sand it, not use a DA sander. This stuff is very, very, very delicate. Also, there's some corners, like this looks like this didn't get enough resin at one point. That's kind of weird because this is 2 layers of resin. And at the top, I don't like where I closed it off together. So maybe next time I'll close it off together around the back side so you guys can't see that. And it'll probably be easier to merge. You see spots like this, I'm gonna have to fill in. So next thing we're going to do is we're going to fill this in with fill in the low spots with Bondo. Because, you know, that would make it super smooth, super glass. Edges that really needed are the spots where I added the, you know, 3D printed plate. So you can see there's still like a little seam line here. And there's a giant dip here, if you guys could see. And I would like that to be completely smooth. So, several things. This is a learning process. So let's go ahead, get some Bondo, fill this in. Alright, so after all that effort, I still have some mess ups. Look at this. Look at this little blemish right here. I am super, super angry at that. Could polish this a little bit better, but honestly, I'm hyped at how it came out. -1 and little 2 right here. Basically, in the gel coat, I don't think it was down enough, or maybe it was like a skim coat over here. Maybe just the coat was too light, or it didn't stick. So as I placed the carbon fiber down, it didn't really stick in these 2 areas, which that further causes the carbon fiber to rise. And then when you sand it, you're going over the carbon fiber instead of the resin. So yeah, interesting. But majority of it is good. It's good. But majority of it is good. Just needs to be polished a bit better. So let's go ahead. I'm gonna fix that. And we'll go ahead and move on to the next step. Oh yeah, and if you notice that the wing got wider, yes, I did do that on purpose. You can see I wrapped the carbon up and over, and then I pinched the bottom together. That's what also causes this little kind of wavy effect, a little bit of wavy. I try to get it as straight as I can. Honestly, this wing is becoming more of a project than I thought, so I'm just gonna get it to the best of my ability and call it a day. Now let's move on to the next step. guys, this video went from making a carbon fiber wing to making a carbon fiber mock-up. Practice, if you would. Honestly, very disappointed in the way this wing came out. It's just too many factors, but I did learn many lessons. It's not all bad. Like, look at that, that's really nice, but look at the rest. It's not. I mean, it does pass the whole 20-foot rule. I guess, well, on the camera you can't really tell, but sheesh, don't really like it too much. So we have several options, 3 to be exact. Option A will be to make an entirely new wing. I've seen a way I can make it with my 3D printer. I can make an entire wing. This guy already done it already. I'll just follow the process and follow the steps. So that could be an option. Option B, I buy a wing. So I see NRG has a nice shaped wing. So I don't want like a traditional APR just flat wing. I want some, you know, some dips and curves into it. So option B for buy an NRG wing. It would be about 2.5 inches more on each side. It's a 69-inch wing. So option C is to repair this wing one more time, but honestly this wing kind of defeats the purpose of it being carbon fiber, because carbon fiber is supposed to be light, and this wing is no longer light. It actually weighs a good amount of pounds, so option C might be out the window. So let me know what you guys decide, option A, B, or C. But overall, it was a nice learning experience. I exactly know where I messed up and how can I fix that. So if I was to do this again, it would definitely be way better. Look at this. Look at that waviness. That is just horrible. But yeah, I'm still gonna move on to the next step. We have our winglets to be made, and I think I might make a second element. Try and fancy up this ugly looking wing. So that'll be it for now. Just give yourself a nice another view. This thing just looks amazing. But yeah, that's about it, guys. So don't forget to head on over to unsystematic.co. Get all your Unsystematic needs situated. Help fund this project. This was definitely a very expensive mess up. So don't forget to comment, rate, and subscribe. Never forget, never stop modifying.